I think in England the role of innovation and creativity has been increasing in recent years as the whole country and the politicians running the country have decided that they need more economic growth from innovation and from entrepreneurship, and kind of creativity has been a big part of that, partly because of the growth of the creative industries within the UK, which has been significant, and partly because we have a tradition of creativity within education. So a number of universities that I work with are creative arts universities, and they're all around England. So for them it is easy to think about creative education because for them it is what they've always done for 100 years, 150 years. But bringing creativity together with innovation to deliver economic growth is a new thing. It's something that I think many universities and many colleges have difficulty with, because it requires them to conceptualise and to think about what they do in different ways, which is hard, and it requires them to do things that they're not used to doing. They're not used to doing it, they're not used to measuring it, they're not used to thinking about it. So it's challenging. It's a very challenging time for education in England in these areas. The way innovation and creativity is taught in universities in England varies a great deal. In many ways it's still taught very traditionally. So creative subjects are taught by creative specialists, and it's about producing creative things. The challenge is to import those notions into other subject areas. The thing that we need to do more of in English or UK education is to find ways of bringing not just kind of the processes of creativity and creative skills, but also the whole notion of innovation into other subject areas. Our challenge is not to develop more of what we already have, it's to spread it across more subjects and more institutions. So I think that's where we need to develop as a system, and it's very hard because people think and deliver and work in vertical areas, and spreading things across is quite hard. Well, the little I know of Norway comes from studies and textbooks and a popular perception. And the good news is that popular perception is a very good one. In the EU Innovation Index, for example, Norway, along with other Scandinavian countries, is seen as one of the lead innovators in the European Union, and indeed across the OECD and the rest of the world as well. And the little I've seen so far backs that up. Whereas the UK is seen in the next tier of innovative countries, and our other partners in the CLEAR project, Italy and Spain, are in the next tier too. And I think to some extent that is a difficult thing to do, because you're trying to classify whole countries as creative or innovative or not, or less innovative. I think in reality, and what I think I've heard today, is that it's much more practical to think of that in regional cluster terms. And Norway, and particularly Bergen, is an area that has a very innovative ecosystem around particular industries and particular institutions in the area. And the same is true in parts of England. And the same is true in parts of Italy, and the same is true in parts of Spain. But in other parts of, and I'm sure this is true in Norway, it is certainly true in the UK, is that there are regions that are much less innovative, with institutions who are much less innovative or creative as well. And I think the challenge for countries and for countries' governments, and national governments or local governments, is to learn from the best, either within countries or kind of from different countries, and that's one of the reasons I'm here.